Hello everybody, we'll continue our discussion on astrology and divinity, and I'll insist that astrology is not to be our master but to be our guide, our aid, and to become stronger and better. We all are struggling with our lives and we naturally want support, and sometimes what happens is support becomes our great weakness. We start leading, it's like someone needs a support to walk. And what happens is he starts believing that he can walk only with the support. And later he forgets to walk. There's a famous saying by Swami Vivekananda, the mouth which is fed by the hands of others often loses the power to feed itself. I don't want that. My idea is we should have these astrology and other things as crutches for a while till we become independent and strong. And they are our to be our strengths till we become very, very strong. I'm struggling like all of you to become strong and powerful. I have my highs and lows. So perhaps I'm in a much better position than most people to share that. I'm struggling to be immensely powerful. So would I like you to share that same thing. Like Lord Buddha, of course, we don't have that level. When he was doing penance and was wandering all over, people asked him, "Sir, why don't you give us his knowledge?" He said, "No, I don't have it right now. I'll talk only when I have it." But that was spiritual divine knowledge. Buddha would go to various gurus. First question he'll ask them is, have you found eternal truth? Have you found eternal divinity? They will have no answer for it. And Buddha will say, well, I'll go and search myself. Finally, the great Lord Buddha, the supreme Lord Buddha, found his own divinity and gave it to the world. And same was with Vivekananda. His first question you would be, sir, have you seen God? He will meet all the gurus in Kolkata and they will, well, this is this. And Rabindranath Tagore's father, Devendranath Tagore told him, Narendra, your eyes are, his name was Narendra in the beginning. Your eyes are of a yogi, but Vivekananda said, you don't know it, and he went away. Finally, he met Ramakrishna who had that, but that's spiritual world. Coming to our world, astrology, my whole purpose of my whole talks and everything is to realize that spirituality and everything, or divinity, whatever we call it, has to emanate every part of our life. It has to percolate down to everything in our life, right from our personal business to personal relationships to everything. I want that we should gradually create a path for ourselves so that we can move much faster to the higher level and let a lot of people grow with us and a lot of people evolve with us. Humanity has to grow to the higher level of evolution. Right now we have, I would say, hypocrisy in us. At one end we talk of spirituality and other things in a big way. We go to various babas and various Mata Darshan and all those Mandir, Masjid, Gurudwaras. It is no use because we lead a double life. I want that we should finally be able to reach such a stage that this double life should become a reality for us. There should be, on this I can assure, I don't live a double life at all. I live a life with strength and confidence and often fall weak and become very weak. That's a different thing. Now coming to astrology. This month indeed is seeing some of the most important astrological changes. Now coming to, today we have to start with Tula, Libra. For Libra, let's see the position of planets. The main planets are Saturn, 4th, Jupiter, that is a Dhaya, Jupiter, 5th, Jupiter 3rd, and Rahu and Ketu will be 2nd and 8th. This is indeed a tough time for them. In between, Venus will also be niche from 17th October to 16th November. So these people are going to have a tough time comparatively. Mars is 7th. There could be differences could crop up with the partner, and there could be that aggression which is unnecessary, and you may have a lot of pent-up fury or something around in you. Well, pent-up fury is better comes out and finally lets us evolve. Those who are of a higher level, they should take this as opportunity to grow out of themselves, to increase their level and opportunity to become much better. They should raise the bar, as one says. They are the people, if I have to draw funny parallel, they are the people who are going to play in Australia or a fast track, and suddenly lots of players can't play pace bowling, and you say, oh, they are run through bad time. It's not bad time, it's an opportunity to become stronger and better. And then, so Libra is definitely, they are in Saraswati, Dhaya also, because Saturn is in 4th, although his own house. And this Dhaya can gradually bring some kind of stability and positivity in their lives, but it is tough. For Librans, it is tough time, without doubt. But They should not lose their heart. They should take it as a challenge to raise their bar. It's like that. You just give a funny example. They're gone to Australia on fast track or Perth maybe, and they're facing very fast bowlers. But you have to become much better. This is an opportunity to see whether do you have the ability to become Virat Kohli or not. So that's what it is. So Libra, well, only thing you should do is raise your bar, be confident, be strong. In a few months' time, I'm sure you will do much better. So my best wishes to all of you, especially after November 20th, when Jupiter will join Saturn. It's quite possible that you will find certain amount of stability in yourself. Then we come to Scorpio. Scorpio people, perhaps if it tallies with the horoscope, if it resonates with the basic horoscope, they will possibly have the best transits. But it's very, very important to understand a mango time, you say mango is going to grow the best, but the mango seed should not be rotten. If it is rotten seed, what can the season do? Or if it is half developed seed only, it can give some mangoes, but it cannot blossom wonderfully into a great mango tree. So if your basic horoscope is very strong and very positive, this is the opportunity which will give you great strength to acquire your new stature and raise your bar very greatly. You have been through a very tough time for many years. Now you're going to have a very, very positive time. What are the positive? Let's discuss it. Jupiter in second, terrific. Till 20th November. Direct Jupiter in second is the best, very, very good sign. Lord of fifth in second and second in second. Wealth should improve. Family life should improve. Your speech should give you lots of gains and lots of confidence. Saturn in third. Lot of courage, lot of character, lot of strength, and able to acquire your goal. You can stand up to what you believe in. You can have courage to believe in what you want. Mars in 6th house. Well, Mars in 6th till 4th October is a strong time to take some giant leap if you are looking for it. Don't be scared. Be confident. I know it's very difficult to be courageous when you have faced lots of negatives in your life. But this is a time when you can take a leap and you will not hit yourself and will not bang your legs or something. You will leap up and you will win. It's like going to a park pitch and facing Australian fast bowlers. You could end up scoring a century like Virat Kohli. Then we come to Rahu and Ketu, a very, very important position. Ketu is going to be in first house, Rahu is 8th. Sorry, Rahu is 7th. Ketu is first, Rahu is 7th. Ketu in first, if it is not good in horoscope, it will enhance that ability. Any planet which transits first house always gives this effect very strongly. If your Ketu is indicating, say, some kind of inner struggles, they'll come to the fore. But with other planets being extremely good, this inner struggle is going to be very positive and powerful. You may take some decisions which will be very difficult to take for you. From 23rd September, this change is coming. You are in for major changes. If your inherent strength can tally with it, this Ketu will not become a weakness. It will kind of set up a few hurdles in your life so that you could overcome them and be very strong. Rahu in 7th gives pleasures to husband and personal life. Well, there is a very good chance that because there are three possible things with the Vrishchik. If the basic horoscope is very good for marriage, you may have some differences cropping with your husband, but not in negative sense. It could be possible you get a job which requires a lot of travel, or your husband gets a job which requires a lot of travel, or vice versa, your wife requires that. So because of that, you don't end up spending so much time with each other. But otherwise, it may be very sanguine and nice. If you have an average, there may be average horoscope of marriage, then there could be some problems which will crop up. Third, if you have already very serious problems in marriage according to your horoscope, well, this could be the time to walk out and start a new life. It's not to encourage that. If you actually are feeling the pressures, if you actually are feeling that I'm bottled in my married life and it has really blocked me down, well, you will get the great opportunities to find your own life. It doesn't mean you go and go to courts or anything. This could mean be powerful and strong. You're likely to be someone who will have great courage to accomplish your goals. You're likely to get tremendous support in a positive way and do very well. Venus is okay in transits. Mercury is fine. They are not so important. These planets are much more important. I've already given that. And Scorpio people, well, I wish all the best to all of you in any case, but they will have the best possibilities to receive all the best wishes. And they will, I'm sure. If the basic horoscope shows that this mango seed is capable of giving lots of mangoes, it will give more than what they want. If they're expecting 1,000 mangoes, they might end up getting 2,000, 3,000, even 10,000 mangoes. This is a time when they could really leap up in a big way, and they could be surprised by their own leaping up. Next, we come to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Jupiter in first, from 23rd, Ketu is leaving Sagittarius. Is coming in 12th, Rahu in 6th. This is a very good sign. Jupiter with Ketu is not a great thing for it, because it's called Guru Chandal Yoga. But it's almost at the end, and I don't think it's that dangerous in any case. But it does give wisdom, which has sudden flare-ups in between. Sometimes you believe what is right, or you're pursuing your right, and suddenly you flare up and take funny decisions, funny ideas which prop up, and it takes a bit of your intellect to overcome that. So Jupiter in first house, very good. Mars in fifth, well, you could have stronger relation with the children and stronger passion with them, and this passion could also be both emotions as well as emotional confusions. That's fine. And your Saturn in second, that's a Saraswati, but Saturn in second is third Saraswati, and this is okay. You're struggling hard to find a strong base in your life. You will struggle and you will find in you. Rahu in sixth, very, very good. Rahu in sixth will give you great strength to overcome your enemies. You will have great power and strength to overcome them strongly, and you should do much better. Other Venus, Mercury, they are okay, they're good. But what is more important is these planets, their transits. So on 23rd, I'll insist again, Ketu leaving your Rashi is very good. This is a period where if you have been bottled up, not being able to marry or nothing fructifying, well, you could just end up getting, after 23rd September, in a month or so, you could end up getting your soulmate or great friend whatsoever. And Rahu will give you great strength to overcome your own weaknesses. And that's what Rahu should. Rahu does show that inherently you have enemies in the 6th house, but you will have great power to overcome. And now I've finished with these three Rashis, but I'll say it again. Don't let astrology become your crutches, and don't walk on them. Be strong and powerful. Don't give up. If astrology at any case, in my talk, seems to be encouraging your weakness, better you leave my talks completely. I believe in strength, and I'm not here to give anybody weakness. Idea is to create a stronger, wiser and greater world. And knowledge is power, so I'm only imparting a bit of my knowledge in my own ways, and I'm sure gradually as the knowledge grows with you all will have greater power within you. Greater power of love, greater power of giving, and the world will be a much better place because we learn to give and we learn to share. Right now the problem is all of us want. We don't want to give and we suffer a lot. An ideal world is when we all give, but that may not happen. But great world is when people learn to communicate better and learn to share better. And even superior is we learn to give so much, and that if we get, we feel very good and happy, and we want, no doubt, but we are not bound by our weakness to want. Be a great giver, be powerful and strong, and that's what I want the world to be. My love to you all, best wishes to you all, and glory to you all. All the best.